It is God's will. God works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. There is a reason they walk barefoot through muddy, trash-paved streets, lugging tainted drinking water. Those devastated by huge floods can take heart knowing their suffering is all part of his greater plan. Of course there's meaning to lives snuffed out without any dignity by failing trains and rolling buses. Totally bereft earthquake victims can take solace in the fact that it all has a purpose and a meaning somewhere. Mothers of suicide bombers are comforted knowing their boys relax with 72 versions up in paradise. The mass extinction we are causing is but a small part of the inscrutable will of our all-knowing God. Why only the greedy and sociopathic arise to lead us shall be revealed in the full richness of time. My diabetes, hypertension, atherosclerosis, and COPD are but tiny pieces in an infinitely larger picture. That billions must struggle just to survive on $1 a day is but a small part of a beautiful mystery. The apparent emptiness of lives ended in filthy nursing home helplessness and fear is but an illusion. They're targeting innocent schoolgirls with AK-47s and suicide vests will actually make real sense in the end. There's no need to be concerned that our ordained fruitful multiplication devastates this tiny planet. There is rhyme and reason in using bulldozers to bury mutilated corpses of the collaterally damaged. Our treating of the beasts of the field as bulk factory raw material inputs requires no justification. Dying forests, drying rivers, and spreading deserts are hints from an infinite, incomprehensible wisdom. Smothering an OD'd vomit, cold, wet, and dirty in a garbage-strewn alley is simply one isolated clue. He has led them to forsake scientific research, to instead build complex yet flawed financial scams. It's God's will that his messengers on earth seduce children and perform sodomy, though both are clearly sins. Killing for peace should not be a cause for confusion in our hearts, as will someday be made clear. Why our omnipotent God needs to test us, though he already knows all results, stays beyond our grasp. We can only solve his cosmic riddle regarding our existence with a blind leap into deep religious faith. Certainly, there is no need to question why he chose only us as his exceptional people on this earth. There is a hidden purpose to my watching football 16 hours a week and discussing its stats another 10. He has a plan for the homeless, so I can ignore them daily. And besides, I tithe weekly at my mega church. God won't command me to recycle, and Jesus never preached of lowering consumption or energy use. Meddling with divine climate change is actually an act of human arrogance far too full of our hubris. He commands we topple evil regimes, which are actually the bedeviled client states of his false God. It's God's will that those recruiting suicide bombers should remain alive to gather new martyrs for his glory. Don't fret over why my child chews lead-based paint chips while yours lives 99.9% bacteria-free. There's a far deeper meaning to blowing up occupied girls' schools than it is now ours to be privy to. Mothers lying senseless in her own wastes for many years of dementia must not sway our deep faith. With his silent pre-approval, they scan our vapid tweets, texts, emails, cell calls, and Facebook posts. Under his plan, I segued seamlessly from unemployment to disability and thence on to my Social Security. That he chose lives of ignorance, poverty, and suffering for them, but not for me, is not mere random fate. So you see, we don't have to ask why we alone are the entitled and exceptionless people of this world. We can sleep peacefully, knowing that it's all simply a small part of God's perfect and mysterious plan.